Hello everyone, Blue Star Saber here once again to do another live action One Piece chapter review, chapter 1006, On Your Side. I am late on this one, and granted in 1009 is coming out soon, so I'm hoping that in the following few days I'm able to at least do another, stream or two besides this one, to hopefully have catch up. Lucky for me, One Piece seems to be on the break next week, which is a shame because the cliffhanger for the latest chapter is awesome. But anyway, enough about that. On to chapter 1006, On Your Side. But before that, we've got a reader request. Robin giving Crocker a crocodile cute outfit by ABBA, which is of course not the actual crocodile, the villain for One Piece. So there's to many people doing fan theories that perhaps Robin chose crocodile's clothes for Baroque works. Never know that's true or not. But yeah, I do like how we got a crocodile sunglasses with a Locusta shirt and surfboard. Just looking all smug and happy that he's gotten his cool outfits, and Robin giving him the thumbs up. So yeah, it's a nice little Robin cover. But anyway, the chapter begins with a boat, arriving at Egghead. We're talking about how this seems to be, looking at the current battle, talking about how this is pretty much accurate to what the papers were saying, at least in terms of them going at it, not the actual context behind the fight. But we see that Luffy is just about finished eating his food, shocking the Marines that he's digested it all, but but they're being blasted around the surroundings. So before some of them they can't stay on this island, but others are just saying, regardless of whether or not Luffy's an emperor or not, we just should try and just grab him now and just use the sea stone cuffs. But we see Luffy going to gear 5 and ends up punching all of them in the sky after going like 1, 2, ah! As we see other Marines getting aboard ships and all that stuff. As you see other Marines firing at the island. Let's see, but we cut to Kuma and Barney, Vegapunk specifically watching them about to be blasted by the Pathistas, as he's trying to contact Atlas, with Saturn just ordering them to shoot the Pathistas, to shoot this foolish family once and for all, with Vegapunk now giving a message to Atlas to tell Barney something. Sanji rushing to try and protect her, with Atlas saying that she'll do what he says, as she then goes to Barney, who says something to her, but we don't hear it, but it kind of surprises Barney. But then, as we see the Pathistas about to shoot lasers, Barney cries, "Don't shoot us, Daddy! Help us escape this island!" As she just looks around, the Pathistas hear the order. Marine's confused, thinking what on earth did she say, but they couldn't really hear them because of the explosions. And then the Pathistas turn their lasers on the Marines, shocking them, be it on the ground or ships. And we see the Pathistas fire, on the ship, many of the Marine ships, destroying them, with people going like how they've gone haywire. And we see Saint Saturn looking on, shocked about what's just happened. And we then cut to Vegapunk's mind to find out that the one thing he's worried in the back of his mind when it came to the Pathistas is was pretty much Barney being killed by the father she loved. So I'm thinking what would happen if Kuma, that either he or one of the Pathistas try to kill Barney. It'd be a tragedy beyond repair. So he decided to insert the directive that into each unit that made to look like Barney's father, Kuma, so that no matter who it was, even the highest authority, if they ever try to command, for them to try and destroy her, and even if the entire world ends up becoming Barney's enemy, as we see more ships being destroyed and more Marines being wiped out, is that Vegapunk has at least made it certain that Kuma will always be on Barney's side, thinking that it was a selfish wish of his. And he realizes that when he looks down that granted, that might be more. Granted, we see him looking down, but turns out to be the effects of Saint Saturn stabbing him with one of his spider legs. With Vegapunk talking about how he knows what's to come next. Let's see. And what kind of consequences it would be, which Barney ends up crying out Vegapunk's name. Let's see, as he concludes his thinks that the consequences for his Weefu actions, but we can just see the close-up of Saint Saturn's face, and he is furious of what Vegapunk has done, thinking this like just the ultimate kind of betrayal. Frankie cries out Vegapunk's name as well. With let's see, Saturn ordering Kizaru to eliminate, let's see, Bonnie and Kuma and the Straw Hats up there right now as he's shooting lasers at them. Frankie gets hit, Kuma gets hit, Atlas, I believe, gets hit, Sanji, I think, kicks, but I think might have even gotten scraped somewhere as well. But either way, pretty much they all get injured, with Kizaru drawing out his light sword, saying that he'll cut them, Betsy Kuma into. Let's see. But you both. Well, he says he's going to cut them both in two, telling Bonnie that it won't hurt, with Bonnie saying Kizaru's name. But then we hear Luffy laughing, and then he does a Gear 5 punch, sending Kizaru flying, and then spinning back with his punch. And he's this lot, and Luffy's just continuing to laugh. Bonnie confused where Luffy is. Let's see, and we just see him just laughing about on the floor, thinking about how he has a full tummy now, which is full of power. Let's see. And he's having fun, and due to the fact of his devil fruit is causing the island to starting to bounce and let's see, become all rubber, if you will, as everyone's landing down and jumping like they're on trampolines, if you will. Let's see, everyone checking they're all right. We see the effects of Luffy's devil fruit affecting the entire the background of the entire island. We see Marines commenting about how the island is shaking. But with some Marines just see curious, some don't care, and some are just saying, we need to stop the Pafistas. With just Saturn looking on, Kizaru just sort of seemingly trying to brush off the attack that's just happened to him, or maybe just like just sorting out his glasses. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it's I assume it's just adjusting himself after being punched by Luffy. But anyway, Bonnie heads to to the fallen Vegapunk, which of course the Stellar Body, yeah. Shaka's the good one. With Bonnie saying that trying to plead with Vegapunk to come with them, otherwise the Marines will kill him. And then we cut to the giant ancient robot, hearing more of Luffy's gum fruit, and it's starting to tilt a bit more, maybe start more activating his eye, so it seems to be starting to move a bit more. Well, at least I think it's implied that it's moving more. I'm not entirely sure, but see it kind of moving. But anyway, Bonnie starts to hear the Sun God's drums of liberation, or Nika's drums liberation, and recognizes the rhythm, thinking back to about how when the time Kuma told him that Nika is his idol, and saying about how he appears with laughter in this rhythm, doing this sort of Nika dance along with her, with Bonnie just looking up in the sky, and Vegapunk realizing that Bonnie did not really realize herself, and then starts telling him that he couldn't be sure until he saw it himself. Let's see. He tells Bonnie that Straw Hat is the Straw Hat, the person that Kuma had his eyes on, was pretty much the sun god Nika, as we just see Bonnie just staring up in the sky as Luffy is doing the Nika pose. I think in the volume cover in which Luffy first appeared with Gear 5, which I think was 101, 102 maybe. I don't know, I can't recall, but we just see Luffy just dancing and jumping out in laughter and doing the Nika pose, and you can just see Bonnie going like, "Ha!" We're just having a little tear in her eyes, just arguably for finally founding it. as Vegapunk. Hold on a sec. As Vegapunk goes on to explain that Kuma was right and that this Buster Call is futile against Luffy, as for centuries people over the world have been waiting for him. We can see Kuma's really injured, but we see a close-up of Kuma's face looking up and seeing Luffy's Sun God form. And it looks like he might have paid some notice to him despite his current set in a cyborg. But the chapter ends with back at the Northwest Coast, where we see a giant ship coming off close to a marine ships. I'm not sure if they're battleships or just regular marine ships. Either way, the giant ship is much bigger than them, as they were starting to report to the other Marines that it's a giant ship approaching. With one Marine saying it's definitely not all right, but some of them thought that. I thought they were, fell apart 100 years ago. With one of the people on the boat asking if they should stop, and the other said they would charge through. With another Marine shouting, "Why on earth are they here?" And with one Marine saying they're here now, and everyone should fire at them, and that questioning why on earth there are giants here. And then we reveal that it's none other than Doggy and Brogy, with Brogy asking why they ask Dory, with Dory telling Brogy that when all that happens in the world is inevitable, Brogy. As then we just see in the double page spread, them destroying 2 Marine ships, laughing and crushing them and all that stuff. As the Marines declare a state of emergency, the giant pirates have arrived with, I think, Brogy laughing about how they're here for Straw Hat, but see Dory laughing and going like how, or should we say, or should it be the Sun God, ending the chapter revealing that that the first 2 giants were ever, well, besides John Giant, that were ever introduced in the series, knows that Luffy is the Sun God Nika, ending the chapter. Hold on a second. Let's see. Overall thoughts. Okay, I do like how. Sorry. I do like how the Marines are a bit. See, many of the regular Marines are just a bit puzzled by Luffy's digestion ability to digest anything so quickly, thinking that let's see, and one of them goes like, "Is he actually human?" Which arguably it could be because of the effects of the Luffy's the gum allows him to eat that way, but I'm not entirely sure. So you think he was stuffing himself whenever he could, even before he had the devil fruit. But yeah, but I do like how they sort of all go about how let's see, puzzled by Luffy's things, but of course they do take it seriously once they start getting more of the Buster Call effects firing down on them. So they're like, you know what? Regardless, we can't stay here. Let's just try and grab him, even if he's an Emperor of the Sea. And we just gotta put those sea stone. And of course, that was foolish, since Luffy was already going. Well, they took too long, and let's see, we knew they were going to take too long for Luffy to finally go to Gear 5. But I love the sort of cartoon background effect of we're going to take him, and then next scene, they're all sent flying. It's a real, I don't know, I just love that kind of classic comedy of animations. I think I've seen it quite a few times. It's oh yeah, bring it on, next scene, sent flying or knocked out somewhere. So yeah, it's kind of funny just seeing that. But anyway, as for let's see the Bonnie. Let's see Vegapunk Bonnie reveal thing. Let's see. I'm kind of mixed on it. On one hand, let's see. I think it makes. I think it makes sense, and I like Vegapunk's reasoning that when it comes to Paphistas with Kumas, that let's see, we saw in the flashback about the whole let's see, Kuma being forced to kill a child thing. Let's see, Vegapunk thought about the worst possible situation with that, in which a Kuma's forced to kill his own child. One of the Paphistas are, and we've seen that nearly happen a few times, and just how helpless Barney is whenever she encounters a clone Paphista of her father, as she cannot bring herself to attack it or let others fight it. Let's see. So it could easily destroy her if the world government, or some more specifically the five elders, ever decide to do it. So So I think it's very clever that he decided that all clones that look like Kuma will obey Barney above anyone else, and you can see the devastation they do with the Marines and all that stuff. It's like a quite the tide of time. And anyways, I will admit it's a bit more epic than Dharma to getting all the Smile Fruit users to switch sides. Well, granted, the Smile users are all kind of like jokey characters, really. Not really any of them were that much of a threat. They just pretty much turned the tide for the more lesser grunts. And Etsy got rid of the amount of grunts surrounding like the main Straw Hat and Minx fights, so and Scabbard fights. So it's like this, but this one's a bit more epic because it's like a bit more personal with like Kuma, like Vegapunk said, no matter what, even though the world's against you, Barney, Kuma's always on your side. But I will admit, this does, I think, cause a bit of a problem because if the Paphistas, if all the Paphistas are going to look like Kuma as the foot soldiers, it means that whenever Barney is on the battlefield, the world government will lose those foot soldiers, and you kind of think like they probably need this kind of a force, and you kind of feel like if the whole world's going to eventually go against the world government, they're going to kind of need these powerful force, powerful cyborg clones to deal with them. But who knows? It could be that Oda is going to plan a new model of Paphistas if York gets, safely retrieved, an egghead or something by the world government. She could end up either making future clones not have that same command from Barney, or possibly create a new Paphista unit that's different from Akuma, so they don't have to worry about them not attacking Barney. Who knows? I'm not entirely sure. I would say they could use like either King or Queen, but I think Queen's too much of a cyber already, and King, they're using his DNA for the more Seraphim, Lunarian DNA for the Seraphim Paphistas, so there's that. Now, which leads me to my next question. I do wonder if this means that the Kuma Seraphim or S-Bear will also obey Barney, because if so, well, the world government will now go from 7 powerful fighters to 6 for their final battle, but who knows, very much possibly that Barney will be somewhere out of S-Bear's reach. And there's also the fact that, but then again, you've got also S-Snake listening to Luffy, because since she's Hancock's clone, she has a crush on Luffy. So there was that. But yeah, I do my main but that's mostly my mixed what concerns at the very least of like what the world government's going to have a stack of its armed forces. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, I do like how Vegapunk did this sort of illogical thing of rebellion against world government, of making sure that Barney would never be attacked by her father, which is more of a personal rebellion thing, as I think many people do to Dragon talking to Kuma, thought that perhaps Vegapunk gave Dragon a higher authority. Well, that might be true in some extent, but or maybe not. We don't really know. But at the very least, hold on. I've kind of lost where I was going with this. Sorry. But Let's see, people thought it was like Dragon or like giving the command, but no, it's more of a personal little thing. He would never have done this, for, I think, for Dragon, but at the very least, he was going to do this for Bonnie because he just hated the idea of her being killed by her own father. And I do like how he realizes, like, let's see, doing such kind of actions would cause a rebellion, and the fact that it will allow and the fact that as a result, let's see, he knew that like what see Saturn or any of the other 5 elders that might have been there would have tried to kill him for his insubordination and treachery. So, which we see, let's see, Saturn doing quite the effective spider stab with the legs. It kind of reminds me of like something from Kong Skull Island, though granted that went into the person's mouth. But I'm not going to go there. Let's see with spider horror, but yeah, it does look like not looking good with Vegapunk. Now, granted, let's see, most One Piece fans would be very skeptical of him dying since stab wounds don't seem to mean much. Look at Kinemon, so there's that. But who knows? It could be that Vegapunk is just about to die. As is let's see, the Kuma Mark III Pathesas have turned the tide and destroyed quite a few ships, so I do like that. But I do like how as soon as Vegapunk is like taking care of Vegapunk, he's like or at least the main stellar body, ordering Kizaru to try and take out the others. And it seems like Vegapunk might be closing his eyes when he's about to strike, but he does end up hitting like Frankie, Sanji, and all that stuff. So shows he can still be a hit. Sanji did try to block it, or maybe did block it. I cannot recall, but yeah. But I do like how the entire battlefield has become pretty much like a giant trampoline, and let's see as and the fact that it's so big of effect on the island, Ritzy Luffy's awakened form, that everyone can see it from a distance. So it kind of just shows you just how powerful the Gum Gum no Mi or the Hito Hito no model Nika is. Extremely powerful of an awakened devil fruit ability, which arguably should be the case since he's now Yonko level. Anyway, I do like Bonnie trying to become very concerned of Vegapunk now that she's learned the truth. Let's see, I'm kind of glad that we are seeing the robot start to move a little, but granted, I will say it's taking its sweet time, but I'm hoping that Oda does have a use for this robot. We just have to yet and see what it is from the reviews. I do like how Bonnie's immediately able to identify Luffy because of the drum tunes, and it's like, wait a minute, I know that sound of Nika. And I do like how we see the bit of a flashback of Kuma explaining it, because it makes the emotions a lot more effective, with Vegapunk looking on, telling Bonnie that, yeah, let's see, I for sure think he didn't realize it, because of, well, Bonnie's like a kid. She's not going to have, and she has no idea what Nika's like, except for what her father told her. So so of course she would not believe it at first. Heck, even Vegapunk didn't believe it at first until Becky witnessed firsthand just how reliable Luffy is, which I think is always a compliment, especially for like Luffy and Luffy fanboys, since since Vegapunk is the smartest mind, so in the manga, so it's like Luffy being praised for anything is always a plus for them. So I really do like that panel of just like Luffy just jumping in the air, looking like that volume cover from a few volumes back. And just Bonnie just staring in awe in the sky, just having that single tears, like thinking about how she seems to have finally found Nika, and it's none other than Luffy himself, the pirate she seemed to befriend, and for a while also try to and also try to let's see, on. Barney to like I've forgotten what my train of thought is. Sorry, I'm clearly getting tired. But yeah, but Barney, let's see, searching for Luffy all the entire life, finds out that's one of his find out was one of her fellow worst generation, and that her father was right to put her faith in him, and also the fact that he's the son of Kuma's friend Dragon. So there's that. Let's do like the tear, like I said, like the tear. I do like how even you have Kuma sort of nodding to make it look like it. Granted, I heard there's some panel disproportions of where Kuma was lying and when he was sitting up, but I think it was kind of clear that they wanted Kuma, even if he lost all his memories, you at least get to see Nika in action at least one last time before possibly him biting the bucket. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see in that regards. I do like how Vegapunk says that Luffy is, let's see, Devil Fruit is so strong that people have been waiting for him, and that that Luffy has become so strong that Buster calls and like that, when it used to be one of the most threatening things you could have pre-time skip, particularly in a Slobby act, about how let's see, hold on, it's so powerful it's kind of like causes everything to go rubbery and silly. And I do like how Vegapunk's talking about how for centuries people around the world have waited for Luffy to finally come here. So it seems Vegapunk does believe in some kind of destiny. But anyway, let's see. The main cliffhanger is the fact that the giant warrior pirates arrive. Will admit, I would not really have guessed it, even if those giant ships, and even if it made sense that they traveled all the way from Little Garden to like Elbaf. I assume. I assume because of their Denden Mushi. Hold on a sec, I just need to get a drink of water. Sorry about that, I suddenly got a bit dry. But where I was, but yeah. I wasn't really expecting Doggy and Broggy to show up, though granted, when they did, it made me decide to want to reread Little Garden, but yeah, let's see, I guess it probably kind of made sense that they got to Elbaf before the Straw Hats, only just because of they know the let's see, they have the eternal log poles to get there. So granted, I'm curious how they crossed from crossed the red line. Did they climb up it, or did they go down the Fisherman Island route? But either way, they managed to arrive and they're here for backup. And I do like how the Marines are just panicking about how, heck, these guys were taken out 100 years ago. Why they're back now? Which on one hand, I'm a little disappointed that the Straw Hat Grand Fleet weren't, let's see, the ones that arrived for backup. And I think that's what my guess was, and what many people guess was. I mean, some did predict Dragon, some did predict Blackbeard, but I do like that it's giants, and it definitely confirms that, yeah, Elbaf is the next arc, or at least an arc that leads to Elbaf. I do like just seeing Dory and Broggy just going like and let's see, let's go and cause chaos. But I do love how they go like, we're here to Luffy and reveal that, actually he's now the sun god. And arguably that's probably might explains why they're here, because they probably saw Luffy in the newspaper about him being the sun god like a few weeks ago. And like becoming a new emperor, and they realized that from like all the giants' legends that they know about the sun god Nika, but perhaps maybe not all the details, like say the Buccaneers and the Lunarians, like Kuma and King, who are probably arguably the last of their kind. But the giants have a very long lifespan, granted usually 300 years, but that's enough for them to learn quite a bit and pass on what they have. So props to them on that. But yeah. But arguably, I wouldn't be surprised if Luffy revealing to be the Sun God is what got the Giants to stop fighting and decide to, let's go back and help them now that we know that the Sun God's here. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see. My guess, that is probably the reaction we're going to get. But yeah, it's not the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, but the Giant Warrior Pirates is a pretty good backup, I would say, at the very least. So yeah, I do like how Dorian probably just pretty much remained the same after so many years that Oda's drawn. Granted, they did appear during the Shanks fiasco and Egghead a few days ago. Overall, I think I'll give this chapter like a solid 8 to 8.5 out of 10, maybe. Just mostly because I do love the fact that you have that little. Let's see, Luffy just taking out those Marines. Vegapunk doing that rebellion. Let's see, personal rebellion. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention I liked how Luffy ended up punching Sen Kizaru flying just as he was about to try and finish off Bonnie. So like that, which gets me to the next point. I like how ruthless San is to try and eliminate Vegapunk when he realized just how far his treachery has gone. But I think Vegapunk's reasonings were solid. So I do like how hold on. So I do like how you just see them, Paphistas just obliterating everything. Just how ruthless that San is of trying to eliminate Vegapunk. And like Luffy's just Nika punch towards Kizaru and just having a blast. Disappointed that the mecha's still not active, and concerned about whether or not there will be any more Paphistas in the future that will be enemy for the Straw Hat and their allies, as they need probably at least something to fight the world government. Let's see, or at least fight against the world. Fight it as the world government needs something to fight against what's arguably going to be the big alliance at the end. And just Bonnie just looking at Nika in that panel from that looks really iconic from the first volume that Nika appeared in. And of course the giant pirates arriving. So yeah, overall, solid 8 to 8.5 out of 10 chapter. Not the best, but definitely not the worst. I do like the whole and the whole twist with Barney, but that's now made her one of the most dangerous women in the world, and we'll see how the Marines and the world government react to that. But for now, in the next chapter. But for now, I am Blue Star Saber signing off. Thank you everyone for joining, and goodbye. I'm looking forward to also seeing more of the Elbaf Giants in action. But yeah, like I'm saying, I'm just heading off now, so goodbye.